Hey everybody, happy Friday. We'll do another donate for DCF live stream. Let's see what's the big gainers for today. Therapeutic company, Galecto, Harpoon, Audio Eye, that sounds familiar. And nothing that pops out. Stoneco. I'm familiar with Stoneco. That's the credit card processing company. I think Warren Buffett owns a bunch of Stoneco. What's up? Thanks for joining. Thanks for commenting. If anybody wants a DCF, just donate and I'll do a Bulldog. What's up? Vertex Energy. That was up last night in the after hours. They must have had good earnings. Nothing really jumps out at me. BuzzFeed. Let's see the big losers for today. Joanne, the kind of it's like a craft store. Joanne Fabrics, I think it's called. Dave. Is this Dave and Buster's? Software company. What's up, Busted? Thanks for joining. Carvana, the used car company. Shopify's down. DraftKings. Shopify, it's just been getting killed. How's everybody doing today? Anybody? Looks like, is the market down today overall? Yeah, the market's down, so I'm sure most people are down. Oil's probably up. When the market goes down, oil should go up. Wow, it was over 1,500. Sheesh. Now it's below 400. WTI crude. What's the ticker for oil? Crude oil, is that? Let's look at Brent crude. It's usually, what's up, Asman? Wow, 120 a barrel. Sheesh, it's getting up there. I remember it jumped real fast to like 120, and then it came down pretty quickly. Now it's coming back up. I wonder when's a good point to short oil, because I think I want to short UCO. I'm waiting for a good point. I mean, see, overall, it just goes down. I mean, look how much is down, but it's been up a lot the past year. You took the profit from Amazon, but any profit is good. It's down. Yeah, I bought it. I bought mine on April 1st, 2020. So I paid almost exactly what it's trading at, ironically, 24.74. So I probably paid around that much. And I was up a good amount, like 30, 35%. Now I'm back to break even. But I have a lot in Amazon, so I hope it, hope the split. Generally, in the short term, a split doesn't do anything, whether it's a forward or reverse split. It doesn't do anything to valuation. It just switches the number of shares. So instead of having 10 shares at $10, you have one share at $100, for instance. But in the long term, generally, a forward split is makes it more affordable, the stock, and more people can buy it. Because 2,500, even if you invest 5,000 in the company, 2 shares, people don't want to, like, 2 shares of stock for $5,000. For, like, psychologically, they like 100 shares, or so. Generally, a lower stock price attracts more people. But if, that's the only thing. Like, buying puts is, I think, the safest way to short oil. I mean, you could sell calls, but it's a bit risky because it's pretty much unlimited risk. So well, Facebook's back down to 190. Of course. I mean, yeah, I bought it at 300, so I mean, I think it's just getting killed, Facebook. But I get it, the subscriber count is kind of plateauing. Everything's kind of plateauing for the company. So this is just what happens. But I'm hoping when Meta gets released. Oh, they are changing the Meta? But isn't there a ticker already, Meta? Oh, no, it's not. It's MMAT. What's up, Khaled? Thanks a lot. So let's see what's down today. DraftKings, Pack Biosciences, Riot, Coinbase. So I'm assuming crypto's down a lot. Is Doge down to 7 cents yet? Still at 8. Okay. Bitcoin, I'm sure, is below 30,000. Khaled's the most generous. Always such big donations. I appreciate that. MTTR. TR. I'm trying to get this down to below 5 minutes. The whole process of doing a DCF. I'm pulling all the companies in the industry. Well, yeah. Next time, time me. I'll let you know when I start it. Okay, so not that much info. Almost. Yeah, I mean, things pretty much move together when it's not like it's generally everything moves together. Either the market goes up or the market goes down. Sometimes certain commodities tend to be a good hedge against the market, but even sometimes in a really bad bear market, even hedges like gold can go down. Okay, this is happened yesterday. I thought I saved it. So annoying. Okay, there it is. I fixed it. Okay. So let me give it the lower whack to see what it comes out to. 10%. Obviously, it's kind of a tough one because they have negative free cash flow and they're still growing. So I use the next 3 years, their revenue is projected to be 129 million. I guess that would be for this year. Next year, 180, then 254. And then I'm projecting 328 million in 2025. So if they hit these targets, I'm coming out with $2.12, even though they're trading at 551. But you guys know if a stock could not be making any money, and not even being close to making money, but people keep buying the stock if there's that potential, like Tesla. If you can see at a point where so this is a good one to more understand what the company does. And some companies are just good at promoting, like Elon's the king. Some CEOs or some just for some reason certain companies get a lot of publicity. That's why sometimes it's hard to short a stock, because even if fundamentally the stock should be a lot lower than what it is, if it keeps getting pumped up for like 3, 4, 5 years, you just might run out of money. You can't keep shorting. Eventually, you're gonna keep having to pay margin, and then eventually you have to give up. So it's a painful ride. Of course, when you're right, it's a huge windfall. But you almost need an infinite amount of money to keep going. But yeah, it's interesting to learn about these companies. "3D, all real life spaces into immersive digital twin models, so much more than panoramic scans. Matterport empowers." Yeah, it sounds like it would be good for the real estate industry. FECCF. Okay. We could continue on Matterport if you want to try to learn as much as we can. But yeah, but the ratios are it's hard to look at their numbers. They rank 103rd in market cap of the 250, I think, companies in the industry. Their price of sales is 15. The average in the industry is 8. But let's do the other one. FECCF. Yeah, if you could start timing right now. And I'll see if I can do it in 5 minutes. This is are there do you know if they report in Canadian dollars or US dollars? I think they report in US dollars. Hey, Kyle, what's up? Okay. Okay, I'm coming out with 1163, even though they're trading at 1096. How long was it? How long did it take me? Was it under 5 minutes? Yeah, it looks like they report in US dollars, so I think everything, I don't have to convert anything. 340. Yeah, AMD. Yeah. How come? Okay, let's. AMD. AMD. This is one of this and NVIDIA are like the fastest growing semiconductor stocks. Hey, Richard, how's it going? Okay. Yeah, I start work on Monday. I haven't had a job. Like I haven't worked for someone in 10 years. It's almost exactly 10 years actually. On June 15th in 2012, I quit my job and moved to California. We're the beginning of June, so okay. AMD. Yeah, AMD. I like AMD. I think they have more upside potential than Nvidia. But Nvidia is down like 55% the past few months. Oh no, actually, I think it's a little under 50%. Okay, So I'm coming out with a $59 stock price, but let's just use oh no, I have to fix this formula, and it's ironically it's pretty close to that. Let me just fix one thing. Let me just see what it's like. Okay, I'm trying to look at a different scenario. Yeah, I'm at like even highest is 60. Google. It's hard to say. I don't really like. If you want to donate, we can do the DCF, and we could actually look at the numbers. But I usually don't like try to time things or price things. But if you think about it logically, I mean, Google has more visitors to a website than any other company in the world. They have more visitors, not just to their website, visitors to their company. No other company has as much activity as Google. So I think it's one of the best. It's right on top, with brand names and quality and recognition. So I think that's a really important part. Plus, it is down. What is it down? 300, 600, like 22% from the peak. Is there more downside? Maybe. But for a long-term trade, I still don't think it's that overvalued, Google. I don't think 1.5 trillion. I mean, the PE is 20, which is just crazy. Remember there were times when people buying Google with a PE over 1,000? Or they didn't even have a PE? Okay, let's finish AMD. Let's look at the ratios. So AMD is fabulous, right? Well, it's fabulous, right? It doesn't. It outsources all its semiconductors. So Taiwan Semiconductor or Intel. That's why they don't spend much in CapEx, because They're fabulous. They're without fab. They're less fab. They're less fab. They remove the fab, the fabrication. They have only any debt. That seems. That seems. Is that right? They don't have any debt. Yeah, I mean, relative to their equity, it's pretty low. 2 billion relative to 55 billion. They don't pay a dividend. Let's confirm that. Which I don't. They're exactly. They're fabless and fabulous. They're fabulous. The thing is, maybe I should do the opposite of what I always think I should do. I'm trying to look for value, and I should just look for stocks that are overvalued, that have really, really high price to free cash flow, PE, and price of sales, because these are the stocks that tend to get driven up the most. Not the stocks that have a PE of like 13, like Intel 7. These stocks, Intel hasn't moved since 2000. But this is why it's the stock. This is why it's overvalued, because their revenue is growing at 32% on average the past 5 years. Every time I think of fabless, in my mind is like girls, like little girls, like pretending they're fabulous. I don't know why, but I always think of fabulous. But anyways, so yeah, it's hard to say. But yeah, I do think Google is a pretty safe investment. But the thing is, some of these stocks, like they might trade sideways, or never trade much higher for years. Like it's hard to really. I mean, the run up was just crazy for and lots of stocks. Like so many stocks, you look at the chart the past 5 years, it looks like this amazing run up. But Google is much, much higher than pre-COVID levels. Like their stats look good. I mean, if you look at like even Facebook. I guess I could have did it in the same chart. I mean, and you see Facebook is just back down to where it was pre-COVID. Like, I mean, they were tracking each other, right? Up until the beginning of 2021. Then Google just kept going, and Facebook. So just looking at the chart, not thinking about the fundamentals, this gives the appearance that Facebook would be a better buy, right? Because it's come down so much. Assuming you were bullish on both companies. I mean, if you're really bearish on Facebook, then just don't buy it. But let's see what Apple looks like. Apple probably looks like Google. It's even better than Google. Like they were all tracking each other up until Netflix is probably looks worse than Facebook. Yeah, Netflix is slightly worse than Facebook. In 5 years, it's only up 20%. It's hard to tell. What's the other? The Amazon. That's the other FANG stock. I bet Amazon is between Google and Facebook. Oh no, it looks like Google. Amazon. Look how high Netflix got. It grew more than Apple in a 5-year period. It was up more than Apple just a few months ago, and now it. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about Netflix. They seem to be losing subscribers. What's going on, Sky? Was looking at you recently, and I think I can get it cheaper. Do you have any opinions with nuclear going nuclear? Yeah, if you want to donate any amount, and we can do a quick DCF. Okay. Anybody have any opinions on you? You said it's uranium? A lot of these, yeah, it's really based on the price of the underlying commodity, right? Uranium price chart. And you can't really predict the commodity price. So obviously, if price of uranium goes up, all uranium stocks go up. So it is hard to predict, but let's look if we can get information about their fundamentals. Well, look at the forecast. Yeah, uranium may be. Yeah, I mean, I have heard there may be major demand for uranium, but it's hard to. It's much cleaner, right? A lot of the uranium is a much cleaner energy. But, Kyle, thank you. That's really nice of you. A DCF, it stands for discounted cash flow model. We just try to predict the future cash flows for a company and then discount those dollar amounts back to today. It's kind of like a loan. If you give me $500, I'll pay you $100 a year for 6 years. Like a bond or a mortgage. Those are predictable, right? You know the interest rate, you know what you're supposed to get back. So we're just trying to do that with a business, trying to predict the. Wow, look how close it is. I'm coming out with 638. They're trading at 655. Oh, I got. Yeah, everybody. Casino is now closed. Come back Monday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time to place your bets. This is interesting. At least according to my model, it's trading at intrinsic value. Of course, like if we so this bottom chart is the price of uranium, and this is their stock price. So you can see a lot of similarities. They're both kind of somewhat flat, and they both have similar ups and downs. and then this shoots up, and then it came down recently. I mean, it says there's really no guesswork when you invest in a commodity. You just have to look at the price of the underlying commodity. I do think I've heard a lot of good things about uranium, so, and I do think having certain commodities in your portfolio can be beneficial. But there was a huge uranium spike you could see in 2007, so it's still trading well below those levels. My price target on my Tesla video, I did it in January, was like 470. No problem, Aaron. Your best friend Scott, so you're probably in your late 30s or early 40s, because there's not that many Scots that are in their 20s and younger. They're mostly 30, 40, and 50 years old, most Scots. But yeah, but to embellish more, we'd have to do more of a deep dive into uranium, and that's going to be a bit. 28, okay. I mean, I have met some Scots that are like in like elementary school when I had my mathnasium, but it wasn't a common boy's name. And fate. And phase. I know I did a video on them before. Solar. They're the largest solar company. Okay. $196. I think there's There's a quicker way to pull these numbers in from Yahoo Finance. You can set up an API to automatically pull it in, but I'm not sure how to do that. I should just Google it. You can buy shares after market closes if your broker lets you. I don't know. I've never done that before, but I know some brokers you could trade pre and post market. So I'm coming out. I'm trying to be conservative. The highest I'm coming out with is 100. And I sold Waiter a couple months ago. It was I don't know. I should just stick with my basic strategy and not go off the rails with Waiter. I guess that's how you learn. You invest, and if you lose money, you really remember it forever. Even if you lose a little bit, sometimes you remember for the rest of your life. You don't always remember when you make money. You remember if you don't invest in something you wanted to invest in. Like I was planning to invest in Ford when it was $4 in like March or April 2020. So I always remember that. The fact that I didn't invest. But you can see this revenue, they're growing at 37%. That's why like their stock price gets driven up so much, is because once this plateaus, once this comes down to the average of 10%, then you'll see their stock come down a lot, like Facebook stock has. But you can keep riding the wave as it goes up. Yeah, I really thought Waiter was something special, but I don't think the company's going to be around in another year or two. Something shady. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just something's not right. Yeah, why it came down to 120 at the bottom. It's still trading. Stoneco. But it's hard to say. I could see more downside with this stock. I could see it coming down to 100. It's just a guess, but I think long term it seems good. They seem like they're growing at a good rate, but it does seem a bit overvalued. But you never know when that bottom's going to be. Like it's really hard to tell. Khaled, thanks again. Let me show you my stats on my analytics. Look at my my views in May was 72,000, which is the lowest last month is 128, 127, 113, 128, 150, 72,000. So it was you have to go back to September. Same thing with watch hours, 5,800. You have to go back to September. Subscribers too. I only had 700 subs. Last month, 2,000, 1,600. Even in September, it's 1,000, 900, 1,000. So you'd have to go back over a year for subs. So everything's down, but look at my revenue. My revenue is actually higher than last month. It's lower than December. Those were good months. It's really, it's because of Khaled. Well, it's because of everybody, but mainly from Khaled, but it's doing these DCFs. My revenue would have been like under 500 for the month, but doing these DCFs has been a good subsidized my revenue. Okay, STNE. Wow, 14.5. StoneCo, they do the credit card processing, right? Have to convert to US dollars because they're in reais. You could just divide by 5 to convert to US dollars. Brazilian Brazilian currency is a real. Real or real?
Real.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Real. It's reais. Oh, I'm saying that wrong. But anyways, if you have one real, but it's not like 2 reals. It's when I was in Brazil, I was saying, I said real or reals. I said, how is that 10 reals? And the woman said, it's not reals. It's like reais. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't explain. The highest Nokia could go is 10. Why? Nokia, they have so many shares. They've done so much dilution. I think that's why the stock never goes up that much. Okay. Okay, the numbers are in Hay Ice. Convert to US dollars. Yeah, it hasn't really moved, right, in a long time. No, at one point, Nokia stock was worth like 70% of the Finnish stock exchange. So if you took all the stocks on the Finnish stock exchange and summed up their market caps, Nokia was 70% of the value at its peak in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And it accounted for like 20% of the entire country of Finland's GDP, something like that. Crazy. It's still the largest Finnish company, even though it dropped a lot. It's still by far the largest Finnish company. Oh boy. It's really hard to do a DCF on. Oh, I didn't convert it. I have to convert. I didn't convert the free cash flows. Okay. Let me look at this is where like you'd have to kind of alter the DCF. Of course, there's no like perfect DCF. And they just started generating positive free cash flow. And they converted 50% of their revenue into free cash flow in 2021. But that's extremely high. It's unlikely to be that high in the future. That's why for a company like Nokia, the way I think about them is they're not just too big to fail. And I said this in my Ford video. I think they're too important to fail. Like they've been around since 1865. They are the biggest company in Finland. They employ so many jobs, and especially at their peak, they employed a lot more jobs. Like a company like that, like the country wouldn't let it fail. Like it's just too important to the country. Let me see. No, it's not a hard one. I mean, there's a little more thinking involved because, well, the good thing about ratios, it doesn't matter what currency, it's always kind of equals things out. So they do have a really good price to sales, an amazing price to free cash flow. Wow, that's a really high price. I mean, that's really good. 1.4. And look at their 5-year annual growth rate. Maybe I should buy this stock. The good thing about like a company like this, if you think of more of a qualitative point of view, is that it's so easy to scale and like grow your business. Like it's very easy. I mean, obviously you need customers, but for the customers to use your product, like a payment processing company, there's not much infrastructure. It's not like an oil and gas company or like a railroad. They have to build railroad tracks. It's just so much spending. Or an auto manufacturer, you have to build factories. They need employees to make the cars. It's so easy to scale a tech company. That doesn't mean they're all going to be successful. It's just one thing to consider. But it's Brazil, you know, they have the country risk premium. So, I mean, I gave them a whack of 14.5%. So in a conservative model, I'm coming out with 17. But the thing is, if this was an American company, they would already be 20 billion market cap. But they're in Brazil, so there's that risk. Yeah, Nokia, they sold their phone business to Microsoft in 2014. But they are making phones again. They acquired HMD Global. That's a subsidiary of Nokia. And so they make phones through their subsidiary. I mean, I'm not too familiar with HMD Global. I don't know if they sell it in the United States. Nokia doesn't make phones. I mean, yeah, sure, they have this subsidiary, but 99% of the business is not manufacturing phones anymore. They have. You could think of them as a totally different business. Where they make their money is a lot of the phones we use have technology in it from Nokia. They have a lot of like hundreds, thousands of patents and software that they sell to companies like Apple and other phone manufacturers. So they that's where they make their money, from selling their technology. Also, their focus on Internet of Things these days, and a lot of like the infrastructure, not really selling phones anymore. But yeah, but just read up on them on Wikipedia. You can see what they're really focused on these days. They started in 1865. That's pretty. There's no American company that's been around that long. And they brought back. They added Pekka Lundmark in March 2020 as CEO, and he's actually done a good job at removing their inefficient operations. Well, let's just finish with StoneCo. Yeah, I think we did finish it, right? I do like Nokia a lot. It's just that it just doesn't seem to ever go up. But look at their revenue. It's flat, right? Since 2018. But look at their operating income. It went from 300 million to 900 million to a billion to 1.8 billion. So they're extremely profitable now. It's hard to look at net income, especially in 2020. They had to de-recognize a deferred tax asset, and that's why they passed through a $3.2 billion tax loss. So that's why they have negative net income in 2020. But just focus on operating income, or better yet, operating cash flow. So they had the same revenue since 2018, but look how much cash flow they're bringing in. They grew it like 7x, from 360 million to 2.6 billion, because Pekka just got rid of the divisions that weren't really profitable, that weren't making much money, and he's now focused on the more profitable ones. And that's a good point. You get the dividend too, and now that they're finally bringing in cash flow. So they did cut their dividend in 2020. Yeah, I guess some COVID, because they pay annual dividends. They didn't pay 2020, 2021. Well, they do pay a dividend. Yeah, BlackBerry. I don't think they make BlackBerries anymore. I mean, it's a small dividend, but oh no, they sold BlackBerry to Microsoft, right? So it's totally gone. No BlackBerries as of the beginning of the year. It was totally phased out. Well, look at the yield. It's hard to look at dividend as in nominal dollars, but they still pay a low yield, 0.4%. But it's good. He's going to raise it. It's I mean, you could see now he's bringing in positive cash flow, so he'll raise it. I'm sure they're going to raise it. But yeah, but I mean, pretty much with a tech company, if you get a dividend, you're kind of lucky. They don't. Most tech companies don't pay dividends. I guess you could think of them more of a tech company. I would consider them more a tech company than like a phone company. Well, Cisco pays a dividend of 3%. Hewlett Packard 3%. Well, Warren Buffett never paid a dividend. He's never paid a dividend, and he never bought back stock. He's never split. Never paid a dividend. They do buy back lots of stock. Yeah, he does. I didn't mean he buys back lots of stock. He never paid a dividend. So Nokia has 6 billion euros of debt, 18 billion equity. So they're not doing that bad. They have more cash than they have debt. So it's kind of like being debt free. Yeah, Microsoft is a great company. I'm not sure why I don't own it. I know I have at times. Look, I'm in this commercial. This is the commercial. I'm right there. That's me. Let's see what let's see what's most active. Advanced Micro Devices was the most active today. 108 million shares traded. Then Apple, Nvidia down 4.5%. American Airlines 7%. Well, Tesla, sheesh, not over 9%. It's gonna fall. It hit 12. It hit like 1250 at its peak. Until what a. Baba, yeah, it's. I mean, it's really depending on what the Chinese government does, right? But I think I got some at 108. I think I got 120, and then I bought more at 108. I'm kind of regretting it, but I mean, I don't have it anymore. Yeah, I don't have the commercial. I used to have it. I sold the business, so I don't really have it. I probably could find it. Okay. I guess if anybody wants to know the DCF, let me know. If not, I'm probably gonna get off. I gotta finish editing Ford. I'm working on Ford. What do you mean a live analysis? This is live. You mean a one-on-one, like a one-on-one? You could donate anything you want now, but if a one-on-one, I usually do 100 an hour, like a one-on-one Zoom session. But yeah, but if nobody else wants a DCF, I'll probably head off. Okay. Well, thanks for joining. Well, right now, live, I mean, what? Yeah, $10 works. It's really whatever you want. Most do like 5, or Kyle does 20. It's a quick DCF. For a full video, that's 100. Like the 10-15 minute videos where I go through everything. I did a video on Google recently. It was only like maybe 6 weeks ago. Sky. Well, you did $10 for Google? I didn't see that. You did. Like Kyle said, he did $10 for Google. Oh, I see. You did a super sticker. Okay, I see. Okay. On the stickers, I don't see any notes, so I didn't know like okay, well, we'll do Sky then. Yeah, no problem. Okay, Sky. Sky. I'm not sure if I've ever heard of this company. Skyline. Okay. A lot of cash flow. Oh, look at that. It's almost exactly what it's trading at. That's interesting. I'm at 53.55. Okay, 62. I'm between 48 and 62. Depending on which whack you use. Okay, they have very little debt relative to the industry. They're positive free cash flow. They rank 8th in market cap of the 22 companies. They have really good price multiples, really much better than the average in all the categories. They're growing more than the top 7 companies. Skyline. So it was about 80 at its peak. Now it's come back down, but it's still trading more than 3 times as high as its pre-COVID levels, or double. Yeah, interesting company. Google. Okay. $270 billion of revenue. Okay. 26.25. I don't really hold cash. I hold, like a year's worth for bills, but I don't really hold much cash. But don't listen to me. That's just my strategy, and I kind of regret it sometimes. So this is ideal, like a company that has positive and consistent numbers and is highly traded. You would expect the DCF to come pretty close to what they're trading at. Most things should be priced into the stock. Well, that's really why I'm getting a job. That's a big reason, because I don't have cash, and it's killing me not to have cash coming in to invest when the market's low. So maybe I should have did a better job of cash management. This was a good stream. A lot of requests. But I'm looking forward to going to this company, because I'm going to be like in charge of the finance. I guess like the CFO, but so I'm gonna it's a manufacturing company, so it's so much easier to kind of look at the financials for a manufacturing company than for like a bank or insurance company, or even a company like Facebook. Manufacturing is just, it's so straightforward. You have to spend a certain amount of money on products and labor to build your output, and then you sell it for a certain price. So the fact it's everything's already pretty much there. You just got to figure out how much you should be charging. And obviously how much you should be paying your employees, things like that. But it's really straightforward. No kids. Yeah, I think that's why I thought I was going to retire, and then the market crashed, and most of my investments crashed with it. But um, yeah, no kids. I do have a wife, but no kids. Yeah, anytime. Are we set now with DCFs? Okay, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks a lot for coming. And tomorrow, make sure you come to the live stream at 6 p.m. every Saturday. And I give away two $20 Amazon gift cards every stream. So come on by. Okay. See ya. Thanks.